gonna be annoying. Okay. Yeah. No, it's just getting things to work. Continuing on. Damn good oranges. You're not allowed. What? As y'all are numbing on your oranges and making y'all's way towards the spire, is there anything y'all would like to? Any plans you would like to make? Oh no, y'all don't have audio. Ooh, hang on. Why do y'all not have audio? I'm happy I saw that. You don't have audio on the Twitch stream either. Say something? Hear me. Most of the time. Why do y'all not have audio? What? Why can't you hear me? I could hear me on the stream. I'm just quiet. Y'all just aren't.
Asking Raven.
There we go. Got y'all this time.
Yeah.
Don't know what.
Yeah. Yeah, I must have had it set to my Bluetooth by accident. That's why I couldn't hear shit from on the stream.
Alrighty. There we go. That should have fixed it. Y'all say something again?
Something.
Hey, buddy.
Greetings.
Okay. So now that's been dealt with. Sorry about that. We are back in on it as we just lost the entire start of that. Alright, well, we're gonna keep going. Sorry for some. What was I
Hey,
saying?
you
Oh
know
yeah, what are
what?
y'all up to as y'all are eating oranges?
Could be worse. It could be another hour of a fucking lore drop. Anywho.
Cornelius will go up to Xanth and whisper, When we get to the medical area, we should probably play up your injury a little bit more. How good are you at acting injured? I know you're good at acting, just acting injured might be a bit different.
Cornelius,
Yes.
you have trust me. I can act injured.
Excellent.
Let's be quite honest. I was able to pretend that you weren't insufferable for how long?
A good half a year.
Hey, she'll pat you on the cheek. Let's keep moving.
Way up ahead, Bella, you are being led by the guards. People are diving to get out of the way as y'all are not slowing down. The guards are yelling so people have the foresight to get out of the way, but some people aren't that bright. You see one guard rushes up ahead, picks up an old woman, and puts her off to the side so she doesn't get run over. It seems to be there's going to be a debacle over that, but she's not run over, so for the best, I suppose.
Bella would have just ran through her, so it's probably nice that they moved her.
Yeah. But you can see the spires up ahead as they are leading you closer and closer, getting along a main thoroughfare and making it towards these massive silver spikes that protrude out of the ground. It takes they're about 20 minutes for y'all to run all the way to where you'll need to go as you'll reach the foot of the spire itself, and they lead you along the side a little bit before you see a large wing next to it that has been denoted as medical ward. The guards immediately take the man in. I lose my audio. Y'all say something again?
Something.
Okay, no. I wonder if it's just quiet. Play with my setting. Alrighty. So, what was I just saying? Right, medical. As y'all run in, there's been a lot going on, and you haven't been paying the most attention trying to keep up. But you've been hearing this man in your arms kind of incoherently babbling. Have you been listening to him all, or are you just letting him babble?
I think she would be paying attention to him because she's pretty concerned about the whole red glowing eyes and talking backwards. So she would be focused, like trying to hear what he's saying as she's moving.
I get an intelligence check to see, while you're navigating,
Yeah.
how much of this you understand.
We are just, really intelligent. So, you don't worry about that. Look how intelligent we are today.
The only thing you hear that you really understand is they always lie.
She would have caught that. She'd probably have been like, yeah, that's fair.
That is the only thing of it you catch. And soon enough, y'all are inside, and there's a flurry of movement as people, workers here, seem to come forward asking what's going on, what's going on. The guards immediately seem to be taking over, giving them a rundown of what they've seen happen, what you have said, but they're not really certain on it, so they are also getting you checked in. as well.
Bella would probably be like, no, I don't need to be checked in. I just thought I could move fast with them in my arms. They were speaking backwards and their eyes were glowing and they scared everybody. But I don't need to be checked in.
No, none of us have seen the glowing eyes, and there are two situations we need to look for. Either something is wrong with this individual, so you're getting him checked out, but on the other side, there may be an infection that has affected you, and we want to do diligence for the citizens to make sure you as well as are all right.
Right. I appreciate that so much. However, I actually have a medical person that I work with specifically because she specializes in me, and I would write like if she could be here for this. I don't mind you checking me out, but I need her to be here so she can explain to me what you're talking about because I don't know anything about medical stuff, and that would make me feel much more comfortable as a citizen.
That is fine. However, we will need you to detain you here while we wait for them. Would your friend be willing to go retrieve?
My friend.
They look at CL, who's been following them at a distance.
Oh, right. Yeah. She'll just be like, CL, yeah, could you get Varen for me, please? So she could make sure that I understand what they're talking about.
Sure, I'll go get Baron.
Oh, I appreciate and you might, you could always just let Xanth and the others know too if they're not together for some reason. They think that I might also have an infection, and so they want to look me over. And um, I was just gonna try and make like aggressive eye contact of like, I'm not letting them hold me here. So just
Right,
that
right, right.
trying to convey that look to Ciel as she can. I don't know how well that goes, but she's gonna hope for it.
Um, I'm gonna just go just outside of the building and maybe to the side somewhere and stealth
Okay.
and hide somewhere. And then I'm just gonna message Xanth and Cornelius and Selwyn. I'm gonna send it to all of them. Hey guys, they want to inspect Bella. This place looks. I mean, they seem overly concerned with us, I think. But we are at the medical. It's around the big spires. It took us about 20 minutes to get here. But if you guys can come join us. Selwyn, I guess we don't need you, but everyone else. Varen especially because she says she needs a doctor.
Yeah, you hear in your head from Cornelius. We're on our way already. Varen is with us. As is Father Dalton.
Okay. We'll be here. And I'll end the transmission and then I'll wait like a few minutes before I go back in. And then I'll
Alrighty.
just,
The guard turns. You see Bella has been moved away out of the front lobby. Bella, you are now sitting in a very cushy room. Not like the walls are cushy, but there's a nice couch.
It's not a
Magazines.
padded room.
waiting. It's like a waiting area.
Yeah, she's in a waiting area. You don't see her, CL, but that's where Bella is.
Oh,
As you come back in, the guard kind of turns. Oh, that was quick. Back already?
yeah, I couldn't find them. But they knew we were coming here, so I'm sure they'll be here soon.
It's gonna be unfortunate. Look for them?
They weren't where I looked.
Did you outside?
I looked around a little bit. I know they said they were coming here, so I'm sure they're on their way.
Oh, well, that makes things easier. Wanna go wait with your friend?
Yes, please.
Oh, come along. We want to make sure everybody's doing all right. So, you need a checkup while we're here?
Not really. I think I'm good.
Well, if we find anything wrong with your friend, we'll have to check you. You know that, yeah?
Okay, no worries.
In case there is some kind of terrible disease breaking through the city and trying to murder everybody again. It's only been about 30 years since the last breakout, so it's best to try to be careful.
Sure, I'll get tested if it's necessary.
Good on you. You're not afraid of needles, are you?
Not really.
A braver man than me, then. As he opens a door and gestures you inside. You see a
Okay, I'll
nice,
go in.
cushy room. Bella sitting in one of the... I don't know where Bella is. She's in the room somewhere. And there's a guard leaning against the wall.
I'll go sit next to
If
Bella.
you think, I was gonna say, if you think that Bella isn't leaning against the wall where she can try and see all the entrance and exits,
Well, there's only one of
you're
them.
silly. She is leaning against that wall and just watching the exit, just not sitting down or anything.
Okay, I'll walk in and I'll look over at Bella and I'll just give her a nod, um, letting her know they're on the way, and then I'll just take a seat.
You say that?
No, I just nod at her.
Okay.
I don't say anything.
I was just wanting to confirm. So there's a nod. Okay. So what do the two of y'all do now that you're all in this cushy...
I'm guessing this guard is just staying here.
Yeah. He stays near the door. Now there's two guards in the room with you.
Then Bella is like she'll have clocked Ciel's nod and just kind of nodded back a little bit and just kind of, I guess, ask the guards. So, right, when you check people out, you often lead them to rooms and have guards watch them. That's how you do stuff in your medical here now? That's how this medical's working?
Not in all cases, but when there's a suspect of in major infection, we do. We want to make sure that people don't run off and start shit they don't need to. That's how we lost half the city about 30 years ago.
Right. And you thought that standing inside the door and staring at the two people who you're implying might have an infection that they don't know about that could kill a whole city is the best way to keep people calm and relaxed.
Well, keeping you away from everybody else is the main plan as well. If you have something, we will likely have been infected as well, so we're also under quarantine. And this is the quarantine.
Oh, right.
Kind of stuck here.
Why isn't and the nobleman, is he not quarantined?
He is, but he's currently attempting to strangle a resident, so he's being detained in a more secure room.
And I'm guessing there's guards watching him if he's trying to actively harm people?
Correct.
And they're wearing protection to keep them from getting infected as well? Or is all of this medical ward about to be quarantined and everyone's going to be stuck in here?
The residents are, but us guards, we've already been exposed to whichever is going on, so we're just kind of...
Right.
And best
That
to use
seems
us
pretty
since we're already
normal.
here, and if we're infected, we're already infected. Best to help out where we stand.
You have a positive outlook on life, don't you?
I always try to be positive. Beats trying to be negative.
Right. Agreed. All right. Well, then, do you play cards? Do you gamble? Do you play dice? What do you play? Might as well sit down, the four of us, and play some games. Pass the time, yeah?
I'm real good
Oh,
at
and can you make
checkers.
sure that... All right. I don't love checkers because it's a two-person game, and I feel like there's four of us, and we should maybe find something that would fit four to play. But can we
Checkers is
ensure
a
that we let
four-person
my
game.
doctor know?
What are you talking about?
I've only ever played two-person checkers.
I've never played two-person
Wait.
checkers. Well, I'll show you how to play four.
Before
As
we
he
play
takes out the
four-person...
weirdest game board you have ever seen, as it is a circle. There are green, blue, red, and black pieces. It's real weird. But go ahead.
All right, she's gonna say, all right, before we play checkers, the four of us, because Ciel, my friend, he loves checkers, so he's possibly played a four-person version, and maybe I only have played two. Can you ensure me that my doctor will know to be in quarantine, like protective attire, before coming back in here to see me? Because I don't want them to get exposed.
We can make sure of it, yeah. They'll most likely go through the window instead of into the room with us until we know for certain.
All right, I just want to make sure that they don't get exposed to anything.
You see he
All
reaches
right,
back and
well,
taps the wall behind him, which the entire wall turns see-through for a moment. You see a resident. They're relatively young, early 20s. They've got glasses, look a little nerdy. They give you a wave before he knocks on the wall again, and it goes dark again. Turns into a wall again.
okay, so we're in a fishbowl. Love this for all of us. Right. Then she's gonna look at Ciel and kind of like two hands shrugged up. Let's play some fucking four-person checkers, right?
Oh,
Sure.
something I didn't ask earlier. Who is your doctor?
Uh, her name's Varen. She's pretty soft-spoken and doesn't really like to boast about what she does, but she spent years working with me on certain things.
Right. What do they look like?
Well, they are I have to ask above table. I can't. Varen is short or tall is the one thing I can't remember about Varen.
I think Varen is the shortest of the group, actually.
Well, the
Just counting the
Bella's gonna
mouse.
go.
The mouse does not get included in that list because they are obviously very small but adorable.
Okay. Then Bella's gonna put her hand like about the height of Varen's head, which is much shorter than Bella, then and go, right, she's about this tall, kinda golden skin, brownish kind of hair, a little bit of almost glowing type kind of orangey eyes in a bit of a way. This is pretty nice. She'll most likely be with the lady. These are the guards from earlier, right? I remember when we were first running that we ran into the
Yeah.
same guards asking about Xanth. Okay.
Oh, these aren't the ones that were at, with Xanth initially. Those guys have moved off. But this is one of the guys that y'all ran here with.
Oh, I thought when we were originally running, they mentioned Xanth going to medical again for some
Yeah.
reason. I thought that was
That guy
okay.
did, because the one y'all met with Xanth was in that group, and he's the one you talked with. He's just not in the room with you. He stayed with what they said Lord,
No.
so
All right.
the noble.
Then yeah. All right, Sean. It's pretty possible that Varen will be with Xanth, the lady I was with who needed to come to medical anyways. They might just be making their way here already to get Xanth's noggin double checked and have Varen reassure everyone that they're quite capable in the medical field.
And where might they be if they're not already on the way? Your friend said that he didn't see them, but they were supposedly already on the way. So we wanted, if we don't see them here in a little bit, might be best to send somebody to collect them.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying there, and I like that. I like the way you think. I'm just curious, why are you going to collect them if you don't see them in a bit, though? You're just collecting Varen and my friend Xanth, or who are
Just
you
Varen.
trying to collect? Just Varen. Oh,
For your
excuse me.
medical things.
Well, that's very nice of you. Uh, I would be of the assumption that they would have been at the market because they grabbed a bite to eat, and Ciel and I were at the market, and they were coming to meet us at the market. So my assumption is that would be where they would be at, kind of not too far from where we saw you all and your friends when we met the Lord, who was all funky.
Are you staying in town? Do you have a home or something in town?
Don't have a home in town, but we did grab some rooms.
What inn did you stay at?
I like that you asked that, and honestly, I couldn't tell you because I was too concerned with how tired my dog was when we were walking in, so I didn't even look at the name.
That's concerning. Can you describe it for me?
Right, yeah. There's a barkeep, She also rented us rooms. She was quite nice. We walked up the stairs, we walked into our rooms, we laid down to take a nap, we got up, we went to the market. That's what it looked like.
He's gonna look at CL. Do you know what it was called?
Why would
No,
you
but
know
I
that?
know it was next to the market. I'll just kind of explain how I got to the market from the inn. And then,
I think I know which one that is. We'll
That
have a
was just
man.
giving CL death eyes.
We'll have somebody go check in on him if we don't hear from your compatriot. It's just about the time this is being said that outside, Cornelius, Varen, and Xanth have found the medical ward. You can
Well,
see above the medical ward, there are these orange strobing lights. The people around seem to be giving the ward a wide berth.
that's concerning.
Yeah, that's
We're
never
gonna-
a good sign.
Cornelius will go up to one of the people walking around, seemingly avoiding the medical ward, like the quote unquote plague. Excuse me, could you remind me what orange lights mean at the medical ward?
Suspected infection.
Oh, infection, you say? That's no good.
Yeah. So we don't go near the ward when they do things like that. Best to just avoid it.
Wish I could, friend. Wish I could. But thank you for the information.
They immediately walk the fuck away from you. They don't say bye, they just scurry away. Just like, nope. He has to go to the ward. I'm leaving.
Cornelius will go back to the group. Looks like some kind of infection is going around.
Joyful.
Oh, well, that is fucking fantastic.
Right.
It
Alright.
is what it is.
You're the
Yes.
doctor. I believe you should take point from now on.
Car. Well, follow me, I guess.
Well, at least that does lead to something good. At least, if we need a way into the place, we can just say one of us has some kind of strange infection that can't be explained.
How about we don't and say we didn't?
Yes, we
Yeah.
already have.
Go for the concussion story. Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
I mean, I don't think I telepathically say in each of your heads and said, I mean, I don't think anyone would notice anyone's seen anyone who has like dragon scales growing out of their neck and does not look like a dragon.
Father Dalton, do me a favor and just be quiet.
Yeah, we'll just say you have a genetic skin issue.
I was going to suggest we say he has a mental issue, has delusions of grandeur.
That too, but that's not diagnosed.
Ha ha ha! Very funny.
Oh no,
Also, that's
that
pretty
wasn't
funny.
a joke, Dalton.
Or maybe multiple personality disorder.
I'd say lack
Yeah,
of
I don't think-
spine, but I don't think we. I'd say we could do something like lack of spine, but I don't think we can putting Cornelius in here is a good idea either.
All right, into the medical ward we go. And Xant's gonna start walking towards the medical ward.
As y'all walk through, the moment y'all pass through the door, all of you shiver as if you've walked through a waterfall just with icy cold water coming down.
Oh, so I'm at my natural temperature. Perfect.
Gods above, that was chilly.
Hey,
Those are
sounds like a
waterfalls, right?
waterfall. Hey, it was quite pleasant. It's been a while since I've been in the water.
Yes, it's sure.
Excuse me. Are you injured or something?
No, I have a patient here. Has requested to come and explain terms to her.
Ah, Alrighty then. Is everyone else okay?
Well,
Bel-
we do have a subject that might be suffering from a concussion, possibly two, but I don't know if that's just his personality or not. I'm not his direct physician.
Which two
Who's
would
that?
those be?
Oh. Ran will point to Xanth and Cornwood, respectively.
Well, we can have them looked over. Unfortunately, you will now have to stay in the ward until the alarm has been cancelled, so I hope you're comfortable. Follow me.
I figured. Okay.
Cornelius, before we get let off, will speak up. Doctor, do remember, you do have to go check on your patient who is already here, yes?
Yes, I've already stated that, Mr. Cornwood.
I did you mention Bella at all?
They did.
That's the first
It-
thing
Oh.
they said.
Oh, I thought they were talking about Xanth.
No, they're not talking about me. They mentioned me after the fact.
Got it. I was a little confused.
I. There, and
To be fair, I
I'm
didn't
almost
mention
positive.
Bella by name, so.
No, you didn't. That being said, Xanth is gonna go. I do think it might be two concussions.
But
I'll request healing for one and trepanning for the other.
And what of the man in robes? They kind of look Father Dalton up and down.
If we leave him alone, he's gonna do something stupid.
Ah. Well, we have a room specifically for people like that. Follow us, please.
All right.
Oh, no.
And that's how Father Dalton got sent to the funny farm.
Xanth, Cornelius, and Dalton are led one way. Varen's led another way by another resident. They put Father Dalton in a first room. Stay in here, please.
Does the room happen to have padded walls and soft little toys?
Father Dalton, you going in?
Father Dalton shall enter.
You enter in, and the door closes behind you and then disappears. As you see a nice room, some magazines, some math problems, a number of different fidget toys, and all kinds of stuff like that.
He kind of just shrugs, pulls out his deck of cards, and just starts playing with them.
Fair. Xanth and Cornelius, y'all are led to separate rooms to be looked over by different residents. I won't be getting into all that because that's a lot of medical blah that I don't know, so we'll get back to y'all. Baron, you are led into a small room in which is looking into a room in which you see a pair of guards, Bella, and Ciel. Can you tell me anything about the patient?
Well, aside from some aggressive tendencies, she's decently normal.
Anything we should worry about?
Medically, not so much. I've been keeping an eye on her recently, and she's been doing fine.
She seems to be human, would that be correct?
Yeah.
Right. We don't have any oddities. Have you been anywhere strange of late? Or has she been anywhere? As far as you know. Anywhere she would have picked anything up?
Not sure, honestly. You can pick up things all sorts of places. You don't have to really go traveling for it, and could be something that's just mutated over time.
Well, if the case, what we're looking for generally stems from a strange amalgamation of magic, usually very visible if it has happened in recent days. Have they mentioned anything like that to you? Likely would have experienced either pain, disorientation, or any number of other smaller symptoms, but those are the main two.
Oh, fuck. To lie or not to lie? uh, I don't have input from the party. Fuck.
Nope, because Bella don't even know you're here. Neither does CL.
Nope. She does not. Fuck. No, I don't think she has.
Roll me deception.
I'm putting a hero point into that.
I don't even have to
I'm
ask
charisma
if you're lying.
Casper. 21.
All right, all right. Well, anything abnormal about the way they've been acting as much? At least as far as you're aware, before we ask her about things.
Aside from her aggressive tendencies, not really.
And
She's
do
not
you-
the most perceptive or memorizing type person there is.
And do you know anything about her compatriot?
No, I don't know him that well.
Well, let's see what's going on.
There's a knock, and the wall turns visible again as Bella and CL, y'all can see only Varen on the other side, and the resident that's sitting with him, but you don't see Xanth, you don't see Cornwood, you don't see Dalton. Varen is alone.
My really important question: how are we doing at this 4-person checkers? Things going good over here? Has anyone thrown the board?
No one's thrown the board unless it's one of y'all. It is a very confusing game. They say it's simple, but you don't understand the rules.
Perfect. So we're just playing along to have the best shot. Excellent. Um,
They actively seem to
I
be
guess-
trying to teach you, but they keep using words you don't know. So
It's okay. Bella wouldn't be mad about it. I was just curious how it was going. I guess if we see Varen, Bella probably say, right, just one moment. I'm gonna go. Can they hear me through the wall, or how does that work?
Yeah, they can hear you all right.
Okay. Bella is going to just kind of walk over to the wall and look at Varen and say, uh, right. Hi, doctor. How was your rest?
Shorter than I'd like, but it
you
is what it
can
is.
see that Varen is talking, but Varen, you get nudged, and they point to a rune on the desk in front of them.
Oh, they didn't have something this fancy at the academy.
Just put your hand on it.
Okay. Just like that. You can hear me now, Bella?
Now you can, Bella.
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Um, rest was shorter than I would have liked, but not too bad. How are you doing? You haven't hit anyone recently yet?
Well, doctor, you know that I'm not keen on hitting people. That I always do my best to just be as nice and polite and never get in fights or do anything like that. I always try that. I wanted to. They're talking a bunch of medical stuff, and you know that I've never understood that. And I wanted you here for that. And I know that this might be a bit of a big ask, but I just had 2 things. One, how is my little girl doing? How's the dog? Is she still sleeping okay?
Last I checked, the dog is doing just fine, and I'm happy you're making sure affirmations are going well.
Yeah. And I think Bella's just gonna try and make like really intense eye contact with Baron to try and be like, this is the point that I just want to get across. And I don't know how to describe the eye contact where you just stare at someone
Roll me intimidation.
trying to scare. I don't want to scare Baron.
No,
Um,
but it's still intense look from the barbarian.
there you go. Look at that.
There's quite the puppy dog eyes.
I'm gonna say Bella is
I
not a charisma girl. Thank you so much.
I am going to argue here that you should be rolling with your strength.
It's still a 3. It don't matter.
Well, yes, but you get my point. Is that when Bella's rolling intimidation, it should be with their strength,
No
which is
charisma, it's
well
force of
within.
will.
I was just gonna say, I would like to comment that. I mean, the strength is at least like +5. So I mean, she's a strong girl. She's just not charismatic, and she's okay with that. She's not ashamed of this. Bella doesn't need friends. She has a dog. All right, so not scaring Varen, but while looking at Varen is gonna say, right, I really just wanted to check on the pup because the guards, we did see how and I couldn't remember the name of the place we were staying at, and they were worried that you wouldn't know to come here. We're taking Xanth here to get her head checked out from the fall. So they made sure that we let them know exactly where we were staying. So I guess that's good if someone needs to go find her or something like that. They know exactly where she is, what tavern hotel we're staying at. And also, I know this is a big question for you and your other doctor friend there, but I don't know. Did you by chance bring the father with you? I would really like to do a good prayer with him in uh, the old language that maybe just he and I used to know and speak with one another. And you know that in times when I get a little scared, I get a bit religious, and I would really just love it if it's okay. If he came, I don't know if he came up here or not, but if he's around, if maybe I could just have a moment to say a prayer or two with him, just so I feel a little, and just kind of whisper, I've been trying to act like I'm not scared, but they've got me locked in the room with these guards and they got about an infection. And I don't know any medical words. And I'm just a bit nervous. And I just feel like if I could really just speak with the Father to be closer to just God, I'd feel real good right now.
I think that could be managed. That is a possibility, right?
Unfortunately, your Father Dalton, the one in the weird robes,
Yeah, the one with the Zima.
he has been detained.
For the same reason as Bella here, or just...
No, it was implied he was going to do something stupid, and with us being on alert, it's best to keep people like that in somewhere safe where they can't do anything stupid.
Reasonable. I mean, if you want, I could watch over him. I could stop him if he does something silly.
Unfortunately, with people like that, we need to keep them in detainment until issue has passed. Just to be sure.
You did leave him with something to keep him stimulated. Yes, he does get
Yes.
a bit... Okay.
He is currently playing cards.
Good. Should keep him
By
busy
the
for a
way-
few hours.
Varen, is your hand still in the rune? When you turn to talk to the president?
Yes.
Okay. You can only hear Varen. You can't hear the person they're talking to, but
I was just thinking if she's hearing what Varen says. Bella's going to start speaking in Draconic to Varen and see if Varen understands her.
do what?
No, I do not.
I was gonna say she's gonna. Sorry, Cece. I said she's gonna start speaking in Draconic to see if Varen understands her, and if Varen doesn't, I don't know how Varen reacts, but she's just gonna start saying, "Right, I really want to get some information out of this room, and I only speak 2 languages. One of them's Common Tongue, and one's Draconic. So it'd be real great if I could speak to someone who speaks Draconic, and I think that that's probably the frickin' one with dragon scales on his damn neck." And she's just gonna keep babbling in Draconic to see if anything is said to her. So
Sorry, Bella. I don't understand the old tongue. You know that. Like I said,
was gonna-
Father Dalton is a bit occupied.
Right. I mean, couldn't they just like throw him in the room with us? He's a father, right? No, don't do that. That'd be rude. He'd probably get all upset. He'd probably do good at this game. This is 4-person checkers, which I've never played. I thought we were going to play like cards or something like that, but I guess not. Right. Then, all right. So I can't see the father and I can't see my dog. Is Xanth getting a head checked out at least?
I truly hope so.
Because I'm not saying that other people here have said this or that anyone's brought this up before, but I would maybe say that I don't really trust anything that they say here myself. Just once again kind of stare at Xanth very seriously. I don't trust them and what they say. I don't trust what they say here. And maybe that's because I
reasonable.
don't
These
know
are new
medical.
doctors to you, and
Yeah.
we've been working with each other for a while.
I just feel like it's really important for you and you know maybe the father and folks to know that I don't think that I can trust what is being said here.
That's reasonable. I'll see what I can do, Bella.
Right. Okay, well then I guess don't come in this room because if you come in here they don't let you out because evidently that's what life is like for everyone. You just live in a state of constantly getting locked in rooms you can't get out of. And then I guess Bella's going to look at CL and just be like, CL, was there anything you wanted to say to the doctor at all? I know, do you want to talk to Varen at all? Or Varen, did you need to talk to CL? CL was there when I ran off with the man who was infected and I heard him talking backwards and his eyes were red. The guards say nobody else heard him talking backwards, but everybody around there was jumping away from him in fear except for the guards. And they were all acting weird as well. But I don't know if you want to talk to CL. Maybe he saw something different, maybe different experiences, you know?
I mean, if CL wants to talk to me, I have room for another patient. It's up to him. I can't
I'll walk
force.
up. Hey, Doc, I feel fine. But did Xanth and Cornelius come with you?
Yep, I'm pretty sure and hoping that they're getting their heads checked.
Wonderful. As long as we're all here, I feel fine. I'm pretty sure I don't need a doctor.
Yeah, I don't have the call to let you out, though. It is a quarantine protocol after all, and they're set for good reasons.
Very well. I'm going to try to learn this game.
Fair enough. It is at that point the wall goes back to its opaque setting, so you no longer see the Varen and the resident inside. Varen, do you say anything as the rune dims again?
Nothing of import, but she'll make small talk, wondering how the mechanism works.
No, it's just a simple projection spell, if I'm not mistaken. But
long-term permanency, is it expensive? Or?
not particularly. It takes a lot of working, but it's nowhere near the rest of everything else that's in rooms like this. But there's something I want you to look at. As they slide you a chart with what looks like a bunch of medical mumbo jumbo. There's some things you don't understand, some that you can vaguely get. I need a medicine check.
I don't have another hero point to make it good, so we'll just hope 20 flat.
You can make some estimated guesses about what some things mean, as they seem to call some things different here, but based on context clues, you're pretty sure you know what it means. Looking over the chart, you're pretty sure this belongs to Bella, and
Bella's veins, for some reason, are interacting with the magical routes within her body in a strange way as they keep sparking against each other. There are a high number of these sparks. They don't seem to really have know what it is, but they have noticed it. You have any idea what these are?
No, that does not look good though.
No, no, it doesn't.
Are they going back in feedback loops or is that lashback?
Seems to be some kind of feedback. Lashback would imply something starting there, more like a detonation of some kind. Doesn't seem to be doing any effective damage, but it's putting off a lot of energy.
And what about the other one in there? Or you haven't gotten to him yet?
Oh, we have, but since he's a doctor, we're not allowed. Since you're not his doctor, we're not allowed to share that information with you. Patient
Reasonable.
confidentially.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Have you seen anything like this?
No, but I haven't had access to any tools for that recently. I've been going a lot of hands-on practice. I mostly do mental illnesses more than physical. I'm just adept at them as well.
Well, our simulations haven't shown anything start to degrade so far, so we don't think it's too much of a issue. We haven't seen it be able to spread, at least as far as we've seen thus far, but we're only about 20,000 iterations in by this point, so have a maybe 5% chance of anything going wrong, but we don't think.
It's good, so it's coming from a source at some point.
I think it's coming from her, if I'm honest. Something going on inside, but not something that's a general issue to the public at
Okay, what about Xanth and Cornwood? They're also somewhat my patients. I do a bit of work for them.
We would need to confirm that with them before going on, but I'm not currently liable to say.
Valid. And if I may permit myself to scan.
We already did.
And
You have the
readings on
same
that?
markings.
Grand. So something we're in contact with gave us this.
Indeed. Do you have any idea what it might be?
No, as I stated earlier, don't think we've run into anything like that.
I need an advantage deception. Already made the deception.
17.
Still believes you. Well, if anything starts to go wrong, make sure to come back here. We'll have the better equipment to help deal with it. Probably best to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, so she's free to go?
Yes, she will be.
Good.
We just
Not
wanted
to
to
keep
be
in that too long.
as careful as we could.
No,
You
that's
want to give her the heads up?
reasonable. I can.
Nod as the wall becomes see-through again.
Varen will put her hand on the plate again. Well, good news. You're not contagious, so you'll be free to leave. Probably in no later than half an hour, my guess.
Right. But there's something wrong with me then, yeah?
I think there might be something wrong with all of us.
Huh. All right. Well, I guess I'll have you explain that to me in more detail at another time. Is CL okay?
I'm not his practitioner, so I don't actually know. but I can guess that he has the same thing we do, and should be released alongside you and the gods.
Okay. Well, that's good news. It's good that the gods are okay too, and that we're all going to be fine. I think that we maybe need to spend some time trying to learn this checkers game because these rules are really confusing.
Looks intriguing, but I'm never huge on board games. I rarely have the time.
It's true. Do like to keep you busy.
That, and I have to keep up to date. Those medical books don't read themselves.
Right, well, you're a smarter person than I am.
At that point, Varen, you see the resident next to you tap on the desk 3 different times in different places, and the door next to in the room with Bella in them opens. They then put their hand up next to yours to touch the rune. You're free to go whenever you're ready.
Right.
I leave the room.
Just immediately
well.
up and out.
Yep.
Bella will look at the guards. Thanks for trying to teach us the game. Glad no one's got anything to give anybody else. Maybe next time we run into each other, we'll try again.
Well, I think that'd be nice. Maybe next time you'll actually win. Well, I think you
I
were
doubt
really
that,
starting
but
to get it.
I appreciate you thinking that way, and I don't think I'll win quite yet, but one day. And yep, thanks again. And then she'll just make her way out the door as well.
Alrighty. Where will the two...
Is Varen with us?
Not yet. Varen hasn't left the room.
Ah,
Bella would wait for Varen to come
Ah.
out, assuming that if they're just on the other side of the wall, they're going to come out of a door or something soon. Stand there. La la la.
Varen, what do
Unless-
you do?
Well, Baron would join him unless the nurse doctor, I don't think he ever said actually, has anything
They
to
don't.
say. Okay.
But as you walk out, you walk into the hallway and you see Bella maybe 400 feet down a hallway.
Okay, so that was more complicated a bit of magic than I thought. Hey, you really take that seriously.
Bella, you can see Varen down the hallway.
She just go right and start heading towards Varen.
Baron come from that hole or the opposite direction?
There's a turn about halfway through where you came in. You came in, took a left. Bella's on the right wing.
Okay, then Baron will try to articulate to meet up at that point then.
I mean, you can. Y'all will meet about there anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Bella might have very long strides.
I think Bella probably moves pretty quick with how tall she is. Yeah. Do we hear anything at all? Like, I know they said that noble's here somewhere trying to strangle a resident. So is there anything that like we're hearing out in this hallway, or is it just like sound of footsteps quiet?
Sound of footsteps quiet. It is at this point as well, Xanth and Cornelius are coming out of a room behind Bella.
Cornelius will stretch, groaning. Ugh, haven't had a physical like that in a while.
I'm going to assume above table that nothing popped up on our scans.
No. There
they
was
say
some
any-
magical oddities, but
Did
that
they
was it.
show us the chart?
They did, but they didn't make any sense to y'all.
Can I roll medicine?
I mean, yeah.
because I'm going to remind you, is that actually I'm technically a better physician than Baron. And I do deal in the physical, not the mental. Okay, I just need the numbers to stop moving.
I just want to say above table, I'm aware that both Xanth and Varen have lots of medical skills. My thought is person was get everyone in one place. And
Oh, no, you're
didn't have
fine. Here's the
everybody go
thing.
in.
Here's the thing. Xanth would much rather that you think that Varen's the medic. Xanth doesn't want to be known as the medic.
You mean the Xanth who constantly keeps using medical aid on people and healing everyone and using different kits to heal people? That Xanth?
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And you're nobody's any use dead. And you are kind of the only people currently that she has to help. Did that go through?
Yes, it did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Got an
Okay.
Varen got, you
Oh,
see
okay.
there's a lot of oddities here, at least in terms of nomenclature and what things are actually called, but for the most part, you're able to read it. For some reason, the magic that is flowing through your body is clashing with your nervous system. You have no idea why. They don't know why. It's definitely not something that should have any interaction whatsoever. It's like your liver
Nice.
getting in a
Mhm.
fight with your lung. They're in the same place, but they have zero connection to what the other does.
Can I get a copy of these?
Sure. They just hand you a folder.
Yeah.
Cornelius will walk up to you. Did they also tell you you had some magic weirdness going on with you?
Yeah. And Xanth's gonna put her folder in her bag.
It's about this
Um,
time Cornelius is also freed from... Not Cornelius. Dalton is freed from his...
Special room.
Yeah, that.
the TISM room. It's like Ollie called it. It's the TISM room.
All right. All right. How'd all your things go?
No concussion. They think that it was just a bit of shock.
Yep, aside from some magical weirdness, I'm fit as a fiddle.
Well, considering what happened to us, that's a relief.
Xanth is gonna look
Is-
at Father Dalton and in Draconic say, Father Dalton, shut up.
He nods.
Are we all in the same hallway now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bella, since you can
Uh,
hear them walking up, you turn and look back at them because they're behind you.
Especially hearing their voices in Draconic. Yeah, Bella would turn and look back at them and just in Draconic say,
Or you do.
I couldn't understand. Uh-huh.
There is also a resident standing right behind Father Dalton, who came out with Xanth.
Then if they're walking towards and they don't see Bella would and Draconic say you've been heard. Move quickly. They heard you. Like she'll just say that.
Cornelius just stands there confused because he doesn't speak Draconic.
Come on, let's go check on the dog.
All right.
Right. I would like to get back to my dog, if that's all right. I was letting Varen know that since I forgot the name of where we got rooms at and the exact place because I was holding her because she was so tired after, long day out. She gets sleepy. She's a very good girl. And that weird dream she had about the red thing and stuff that scared her. I was letting Varen know that Ciel was kind enough to tell the guards exactly where we're staying. So if they ever needed to find her, us, they know they can find the place now and everything. And she's just gonna say this as she's walking to. And do we know how to get out of
Zanny,
here? Are we?
see this way, Bella. That being said, the guards already knew where we were staying. We had that one guard escort us.
And I seem to have some sort of ankle monitor on me, so pretty sure they know exactly where I am at all times.
And we think that the guards that they use up here at the medical center and at the noble's place are the same guards that they have walking down there all the time.
Just to confirm, are you all speaking in Draconic or Common?
Yeah, I hadn't
Common.
said I switched, but
Bella went back to.
oh,
Sorry, Bella went
I'm
back to
sorry.
common after saying that.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to be
Xanth
sure.
stayed in Draconic. I'm just gonna say Xanth stayed in Draconic just for the sheer fact I didn't say I switched back. So
Gotcha.
Oh, so I wouldn't have understood most of that.
No, a good half the party doesn't.
You'd understand Bella, who's you actually responded to, I believe.
Bella would pop back into. When we get outside, Bella will say something more. She wants to be outside of this place first. Thought that. I'll change my thought there.
As y'all are heading out, y'all see there are a pair of residents walking out the Lord guy that you saw at the guy that started all of this. They are walking him out.
Is he looking normal again?
He looks really out of it, but he seems more capable. No,
What happened?
don't
uh,
go.
Bella's
Never down. Up is under now. Didn't they tell you? The stairs make circles until they scream. Just don't go under.
The hell was that about?
As you can hear him
Bella's
kind of muttering. Library?
Bella's
No.
gonna
Not a library. A lung. A lung full of. Just the pages breathe. They breathe. There, Lord. You just need some rest. Come on, let's get you home, back to the noble's court.
Bella's just gonna look at Varen and Calm and just say, right, that was the Lord that they thought maybe had an infection. Looks like he's just right as rain, I guess, if they're saying that.
Medically, I'll disagree, but I'm not his practitioner. He looks well out of it.
it's very possible that it's not infectious and that it's just. I mean, maybe it's just bunkers.
I really hope he has some sort of caretaker then.
Hey, had a good read.
It sounds like he got into a special supply of goblin mushrooms.
It sounds like he got into battle and took way too many whacks to the head.
Right. Remember though, like here we don't ever have battles or wars and nobody fights each other, nobody dies here, right? I mean, that's why we wanted to take these two scimitars that I have up to the museum to have them appraised because they're antiques, because nobody ever gets in fights or wars or hurts one another here, and that's why it's just such a great place.
As y'all
Wait.
are approaching Bella, he seems to hear you and turns to look at you, and you see his eyes are significantly more red than they were before. It's all sideways now. Sun is under the city. The light won't listen. They already waking. You see a frantic look, another pat from the resident walking with him as they lead him out.
Can I
Bella's
ask the
gonna say,
red?
"Hey, Bella."
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please go.
I was gonna say, does the red coming out of his eyes look familiar, like anything like the orb or the lightning that we have seen?
It's the same color.
Like very similar or like exact?
The same color. It's not as lit up, so it's a little more dull, but it's pretty much the same color.
Um,
Did everyone see that then, I guess, is what I was gonna ask as well. Like, was it just Bella or did everybody in the party notice? I don't know if
Oh,
everyone, if people had to
everybody
roll
saw
for it
that
or.
when the
Oh.
madman just kind of looked at y'all and started spouting shit.
Just wanted to make
Because
sure
y'all were
everyone
trying to
saw the
go
red
through.
eyes.
Y'all were just getting at the front door and about to leave when he turned.
Well, that was cryptic.
Um, right. Why don't we just maybe hustle on over to the museum real quick? I'd like to just be outside in fresh air for a minute, if that's all right.
Did I hear you correct in saying that this place has absolutely no war, conflict, or fighting at all?
How about we don't have this
Bella,
conversation where people can
yeah,
overhear us?
yeah. Bella's just gonna keep walking. She's not even gonna respond to Cornelius
Are
and
we
just be like,
outside or are
"Oh,
we still inside?
Y'all had just walked outside.
yeah."
Okay.
I think as soon as we get outside, Bella is going to swap back over to Draconic, because and just be like, right, I only speak two languages. I speak Common, I speak Draconic. I don't think they speak Draconic here. I don't know. I'm assuming Dalton and Xanth, you might know more languages to where maybe people can communicate, or Xanth, I know that CL's in your brain and you guys can share messages. Quick rundown. Noble there, Lord with the red eyes, he was speaking backwards. The one thing that he said is, don't trust anything that they say. That was all I caught as I was running him here. When we first found him, he had the red eyes and it looked like it was starting to spread to other people and people were jumping away from him. And then the guards acted like it was nothing. Varen told me that they'd done like some medical stuff or something, I think, on me, but they never did any tests while we were in there, right? They just put us in a room. We played checkers. They play it with 4 people here. And yeah, real important thing we learned is that they've never had a war here, they say. And when I told them I wanted to sell these vintage scimitars, they asked why I would have them. And I said, oh, well, you know, you use them in fights, protect yourself. The guy who was bigger than me almost fainted because he thought I was a killer, and they don't have anything like that because they broke off from the rest of the world 1,000+ years ago when they made the gods mad, is what they said. And all the stuff they know is up at these spires that just like shoot lightning, red lightning. That's all.
Looks at
Um,
Father Dalton.
Let me double check. He brings up like he tries to like remember. He's bullshit his way through so many places that he's trying to remember what languages he actually learned or what he faked, or where he just like hired people to act as translator.
Fair.
During this time, what's going on with the old man? Are they just letting him go? Or the noble?
There, y'all can see he's been let off. Y'all heard
He's
something
just
about the resident being led back home to the noble quarter. But the
I'm
resident
gonna
is
follow.
going with them.
Okay. So they're escorting him back to
Yeah,
his.
they're escorting him. They didn't just go, out you go. No, they're actually bringing him somewhere.
Okay.
And we
I would
got
like.
his name as well, right? So, like, if we were to try and look for him, I'm not sorry, I'm not trying to stop Sale from doing what they're doing, but if we want to try and take for them a little bit later, I remember them saying his name when we were walking up. I just didn't write it down as a player, but I remember the guards mentioned his name when we were going up there.
Lord Vale.
Ciel Bella. Vale, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Is it?
Ciel,
Can
please.
I stealthily follow, like without them noticing me?
Self check. Ready? So CL's left. Anybody going with CL as he leaves?
Should one of us follow him or?
Cornelius will
Anyway,
contact CL in their mind. Where are you going?
I think this guy might have some. He might have some knowledge that we might need. I don't know. He just seems important, so I want to know where we can find him.
Um, right. Anyone who's got like the brain walkie-talkie thing, yeah? Could you maybe just for me, like let CL know if they went after the guy that maybe we could try and like find him. Like if he can tell us where the person lives, maybe we could try and talk to the guy later on. Like if he's following the guy, I don't know what he's doing, but was thinking that maybe we could try and meet that guy later when they're not watching him as closely because from what I understand in that place is pretty different, right? Like Varen talked to myself and CL through a wall. We saw Varen. Varen put the hand, we couldn't hear Varen at first, and then she put her hand on something. We heard Varen. And then when we came out of the room, we waited for Varen to come out of a room, and they ended up like 400 feet down a hallway. So I think they have some stuff that is maybe a bit powerful here, magic wise. I don't know anything about it.
From what they said, it's relatively simple. I've never had anything like in the academy, but they were also not as strict as they were when it comes to medical stuff, seeing as it's just in water deep. But
You know what they said was simple was the ability to
to them,
talk. They
yeah,
also said, compared to everything else they got going on with that room, it's pretty
seeing
simple.
that they got a scan, which is probably a bit more upper tier than that, without any of us knowing. Yes. And the screen is probably just some sort of simple illusion construct.
Yeah, minor illusion.
Yeah.
So, CL went one way. Where's the rest of the party going?
Xanth will let CL know to follow. We're going to the museum,
Red.
Okay.
but
As soon
figure
as
out
I
where
figure
that guy
out,
lives,
yeah,
and then meet us at the
I'll head to the
museum.
museum. Be that.
And then I will inform Bella that is what I told CL.
Bella would just nod and go like back into Draconic and just be like, I have learned real quick, and I think CL might agree. I don't know how everything went with you all when you were off doing your things. I think we all knew this place was different, right? But I have learned that saying less is a pretty good idea around here because it's real easy to trip up, and they seem pretty paranoid about a lot of things in a way. They said 30 years ago, an infection wiped out half the city. So that's something they worry about a lot.
Also speaking, I'm sorry, Bella, you're in Draconic?
No. I said she dropped back to common to
Okay,
just kind of
back
get
to common. Okay,
that part of information across.
okay. Back in common, Xanth will go. Well, if they're closed off from what was the rest of the world, I'm not surprised that a plague like that could wipe half them out if they're that isolated. It makes sense.
Right. CL had an interesting idea. We can call it like a bit of a thought on things. And I know we're walking to the museum, but Bella does just want to look around and just be like, do we feel like anyone's like listening to us or following us? Or we feel okay to just kind of have a conversation as we walk quietly?
Roll me perception.
Oh man.
Is that a comment you're
How bad
making
are
out
my
loud,
rolls?
or
Yeah, that was something that she said out loud.
okay? I would like to join in on that perception then.
Same.
You're just rolling all of them, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's kind of
here's
I always roll high and then says they
unless
don't, but they do.
no. Here's the thing: is that I'll roll high right now, and then we'll get into a Nexus event, and I won't be able to hit you for shit.
That's
But
okay.
as y'all are walking around, you don't see anybody following. You're back on the main streets around the fires, kind of looking for the museum. So there's a lot of people to overhear, but nobody seems to be paying all that much mind to you. So if you say something
Um,
like really drastic, somebody might turn to look at you. But nobody's listening in.
Okay.
As long as you're careful with what you
Not
say, you're
very,
fine.
yeah, not very loud. Like she's not gonna like yell it or anything, but just kind of like they're having a normal conversation. Right. Yeah. Sia was telling me like a tale, right? Like kind of a fairy tale type idea on things. That what if you were in a place and everyone thought it was a certain way because people had like changed things, changed everyone's memories and made them think that things happened a certain way when they really didn't, and everyone just believed a whole like fake history. Um, None of
Well,
it was
there's a
real, and that
good many books on that subject of rewritten histories, and a few of them mention uh, whole governments and organizations in control of that, and possibly watching over shoulders as well. That kind of thing.
yeah, something like that, and that maybe like it would have something, I don't know, say someone kind of appeared somewhere one day and they just changed everything to where the people there thought that their whole lives had been a certain way, but really it wasn't real. And they were all kind of off and acting a bit different because it was like their brains didn't want to accept what had been forced on them, right? Was kind of what they were talking about. Like a story about something like that.
I can think of a apt book for a shadow society watching over things. What was the name of it again? Shadows of that dark corner over there?
I don't know if I've ever read it.
Not the. Remember, how dense is Bella?
Um, I will tell you above table, Bella's only negative in her charisma. Okay. So she is not a charismatic person, but she isn't stupid.
I figured that. The question is Bella picking up what Varen's putting down for double speak?
Um, I mean, I don't, do you want me to roll for it, Cece? I could assume she would, but at the same time, I also feel like we're all talking in a lot of almost riddles to try and get a point across in a public place. So who knows? So
Roll
I will let
insight.
Cece make the call. That's a wisdom, not even an intelligence. Yep.
Bella, it's going over your head. You're not really sure what the fuck they're talking.
Makes sense. Bella just, yeah, Bella, right. No, like that's why I was telling you about the story that CL told me because I've never read that book. So like I didn't know this story. Right?
That's perfectly all right. Yeah, we can probably speak a bit more, and we'll probably have to wait at the museum, so we could probably speak a bit more then.
All right. Yeah, I'd love to learn about the story and maybe get everybody's thoughts on it. Might be nice.
Y'all did switch back to common, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
making sure.
Been uncommon for a
Yeah.
while, yeah.
Seeing that Varen doesn't speak Draconic, I'd hope so.
Because I kind of feel like with all the draconic speech you all were talking before, Cornelius is just walking around with you guys, missing a whole shitload of context.
Yeah,
We've
And-
that's
been,
part of the problem.
well,
I
Cornelius,
do
I
love
mean, we've been in
how the
common for a while,
yeah,
I
we
would
have been in
think.
common for
Right?
yeah, we've been in common for a while. That being said, I love how with we have such a wide variety of languages, but we at least share one with one other person.
And most of you speak primordial.
The two of us are half elemental.
He.
But as we're walking, Cornelius just mutters something under his breath, and anyone who hears it just will hear this. If Father Dalton here is even paying attention, he'll know what he said, but everyone else just hears him mutter something.
So that's Elvish.
Mm-hmm. Just for Bluesman, I feel like I'm missing a whole lot of context with all this draconic.
Do I am above table somewhat clarify for Cornelius, the player. Bella mentioned like all of the wars. Pretty much every time Bella's talked and it sounds like she's speaking in riddles is in common. That was what I was saying. She went back into common. The very direct like rundown of what happened with the guy, she only gave in Draconic so people could share that with each other, knowing that she doesn't speak many languages. But the mentioning like a CL saying that there's a story about the city of mines like being taken over and the, you know, that we want to sell the scimitars because there's never really been here and so on and so forth. Like that's all been done in common. So that was like a thing for hopefully everyone to get. I don't know if that makes it easier to understand or more difficult.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, what information Cornelius should have or not.
Fair. Is there anything else you would like to go over as y'all are trying to find the museum?
Nothing from Dalton.
Nope.
Alrighty.
Only Dalton and Sands would have that dumped on them and they'd be like, nothing to talk about. I appreciate that. Okay.
I will. Xanth will like inform Father Dalton. Father will inform Father Dalton that that Cornelius speaks Elvish, but she does not, and therefore, if you can translate what's been going on to him in Elvish.
Okay.
Just so that we're somewhat on the same page.
I'm effectively the middle
You
telephone.
How did you communicate that to Father Dalton, by the way?
I
What
spoke
language?
in Draconic
Okay.
to
Bella
let
would
him
also
know.
respond, don't forget. Then Bella would just say, don't forget the doctor. I don't think they speak Draconic. I tried to speak Draconic to them through the window thing and they didn't understand anything I said.
Yeah, I'm just trying to there.
I can translate primordial and celestial. That's what would get across to you and Dalton.
Okay, so in that case, Xantha's gonna look at you, Varen, and just in common as because I'm good. I know I can logically say that I would know what Cornelius speaks, but Xantha's gonna have to ask you which language is you, and once figuring out that you speak primordial, that's the one she's gonna give you an update of what's been going on and the shit that you're missing.
Fair.
Good.
You know, with how many people in our party speak primordial, it might be a good idea for the people who don't speak it to learn it, because it's just you got multiple people who speak it.
We are also going into a lot of alternate dimensions. Primordial's a good base coverage too.
Yeah, so it
I
looks like
appreciate that it seems
yeah.
like I don't think you just learn the language overnight is the problem in life.
No, it takes a lot of time.
But
Yeah.
Especially since it's exotic, isn't it?
Yep. But as y'all are heading in, it takes you a little bit to find the museum, but it is in one of the spires.
But you see a very large, well, it's dedicated to one of the spires on its own, so a very large museum, but you don't see anyone going into it.
Damn. For such a large and grand structure, doesn't have a lot of foot traffic.
Most museums don't get a lot of traffic. It's
You haven't been going to
mostly,
the right museums.
maybe not, but what I know of, it's mostly lords that keep collections, and sometimes they'll rent out their collections to a museum to, well, hold them safe and allow others to view them if they're benevolent.
You can see it's a large silvery crystalline structure. The doors are large and kind of just out there as they are open. You see a beautiful marble and or no marble crystal entrance, but yet again, no one. No one walking up the stairs. No one inside the main hall that you can see. Nothing.
Not even a receptionist or anything like that.
Nope.
Oh wait, Bella's BRBing.
Right, well, we might as well go in.
Yes, might as well see if there's anyone in there.
Into the thick of it.
As y'all are walking in, we're gonna flip over to good CL. CL, you've been following the three people that are moving along, the Lord and the two retainers that are with, not retainers, residents from the medical ward that are with him. They're not moving quickly at all. The Lord is continuing to babble from time to time, but they seem to be making their way a little bit away from the spires into the surrounding area, which seems to have a lot more well built up buildings. You don't see a lot of lawns and whatnot, but you're pretty sure you're where the nobles are based on what's around.
Do they notice me following them at all?
They haven't done anything, as far as you
Okay,
noticed.
I'll just follow as far behind, trying to be as, I don't know, unconspicuous as possible.
You see,
Inconspicuous, I guess.
you're seeing a lot more guards in this area, but that's the only thing that really changes. You're getting less foot traffic, and eventually, it's probably been about 40 minutes to an hour since you split off with the party leaving the medical ward. They go to one of the gates that surround one of these larger manors, and you see they enter to that place, closing the door behind them.
Okay, I'll just make note of where it is and how I got here. And then I'll make my way back to the museum.
Alrighty, so you're going to go looking for the museum as well?
Yes.
Probably take you about 30 minutes to get your way back to the medical ward. They were going extremely slow, which is why it took so long for you to get there. But it's going to take you even longer to find the museum as well.
I'll just ask in my connection to Xanth. I'll be like, "Hey, which way do I go to get to the museum from the medical ward?"
Xanth will give you directions.
Better cut that time.
Seal will catch up eventually.
Okay, cool.
But the rest of the party. Y'all enter into the museum's grand hall. There's these large pillars supporting the ceiling high above. Yet again, no one. You see along the walls, there are these grand tapestries, which seems to denote building of probably the spires, if you had to guess. And a number of what you're guessing's probably the leaders of the kingdom. But not too much else in these early tapestries. It seems like a celebration of who they are. You do see a number of different doors going into offshoots on either side.
It's locked, so I assume that they're allowed to be here.
Uh, right. Well, Sale's not with us. The second shopkeep blacksmith we talked to, dwarven lady, had said that if we brought these to the museum, they would be able to look over these scimitars and tell us that and buy them, right? So they made it sound like people are here and work here.
Alright, well, nothing to do but start looking around. Santa's gonna go to the first door and is also going to connect to CL and just offhandedly go, mind checking in on Selwyn and Junie, just making sure that they're still up and about.
Definitely. I'll go ahead and check in with them immediately.
You're informed that they are
Hey,
fine.
Selwyn.
They're on the outskirts of the city, looking into the layout of the kingdom, trying to figure out just how big the area y'all are dealing.
Okay. We are, or I am headed to the museum. I believe the others are there at the museum. I'll get back in touch with you once I'm there,
Alrighty.
and then I'll
Um,
relay to Xanth. They're trying to scope the city and map it out a little bit.
alright. Thank you. Um, and with that, I'll just go through the first door I see. No choking.
I'll choke on cinnamon if I want to choke on cinnamon.
You
Don't tie
see
on us.
in this room, it seems dedicated to ancient ocean travel. You see the wreckages of old ships, masts, sails, flags, everything you're familiar with, but it looks old. Very old.
Like, is
See
it
what
stuff
looks
that I
like
would? Is it like stuff that I would have currently used, or like is even outdated by my standards? Speaking that I've been on the sea since I was 14, and I'm now in my 200s.
sailing hasn't developed all that much the last couple hundred years, and it's similar in grade to a lot of that. You don't recognize all the styles of ships, but the mechanics all seem just about the same.
Okay.
Were we all staying together, or did everyone go to explore the museum on their own?
I don't know. Did you?
If
I went through the
Oh.
first door.
I'm gonna break my own cardinal rule and ask the curator, and we assume that's the person we were talking to earlier.
Who are you talking to? You haven't talked to anybody.
I thought someone was talking to Bella about the selling the swords.
That
But we
was
didn't.
the smithy in the marketplace ages ago.
Oh, I
Since
thought I heard you
entering the
talking to
museum,
her.
you haven't talked to anybody.
Oh,
Because there's
well,
no one to talk to, which is what y'all are looking for.
Cornelius is gonna go searching around specifically for a exhibit of weaponry, or possibly any information about this land's past with war.
So you're just walking off?
Yes, but I will contact CL and have them relay to Xanth that if they need me, they could just have CL call me over.
Bella's
Hey,
taking the
Xanth,
next.
Cornelius is going off on his own, but wants you to know that we can always call him back.
I'm going to grab Father Dalton and make sure that he's with me.
Kidnap the priest.
Oh shit, that means I have to stick with Cornelius. Thanks, Kai.
Xanth will sigh, and she'll give you Father Dalton, and I'll take Cornelius.
No.
You get the priest, or you get the loudmouth. Pick, Varen.
Varen might kill the priest. So just stick with Cornelius.
Alrighty, I'll take the priest.
Brother Dalton, you okay with getting kidnapped over there?
Blue,
Dalton.
double, D, blah, blah, blue.
They're muted.
Oh no.
I'm guessing they might be moving stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean they might be dealing with the bed now.
The bed came way earlier, so I don't know. But
Right.
Dalton, as you're looking around, you're not Dalton. Cornelius, you're going on an adventure. There is a lot to see and no real people. Bella, surprisingly, the door Cornelius is looking for is the door you walk into. As you find a lot of remains of ancient armors and weapons, all of them in pretty bad shape, if you nothing in pristine condition. You see a whole section on different magics, different armors and weapons. You see siege weapons, you see swords, bows, crossbows, all that kind of stuff.
So it's just weapons, nothing about like war itself or anything like that. Just a
Oh,
bunch of
that's
different
all in
weapons,
here.
and no
What
one.
they were what you see written in front of them, what they do, classical things of why they were used. All that information's here, but none of it's new to you.
Yeah. Okay. Then,
The
are
most
the weapons
Go ahead.
are the weapons worse or better than the scimitars that she has? Like, do they look
Significantly
worse
worse.
off or okay?
This is
And there's no one in.
No, there's no one in here. These are another interesting thing you see as you were reading some of the displays. They're all in past tense. Museum, so not surprising. But all of these are very, very degraded, as if the ravages of time have really messed some of this stuff up.
Bella would just kind of clock all of that, and then she would go ahead and just leave the room because that's not the room she wants to be in, and just probably shut the door and go make her way to the next room. Just, okay, bye.
As y'all are wandering, Cornelius and Varen, it takes room after room after room. Eventually, you find a massive library. It's up a set of stairs, and the second floor seems to be made completely out of books and books shelves, and I need a perception check.
All right.
15.
Do I? I'm going to use a hero point. 12.
Baron, you're the
Okay.
only one that hears it. You hear soft snoring.
Of course. I'm not surprised with how busy they are.
What was that? What was that, Varen?
I think I may have found a curator, or at least one of his assistants. Are you going to be able to keep civil, or are you going to be aggressive as always?
I'm always civil.
You'll
You'll
get the
notice-
most deadpan fucking look.
I
that-
can hear it from the entire party.
But you'll notice that Cornelius is talking quieter. I mean, this is a library.
Fine. You probably have more experience with museums than I do, anyways. He's somewhat that direction. I don't know where, but I can hear someone sleeping.
Cornelius will head in the direction that has been indicated to him.
You start to wander off. This seems to be an area that is mostly made up of desks and the like. Moving through them, there are a lot of books sitting on desks. It looks like different workstations, probably different topics, though you can't really tell. But after some looking, you find behind a large fortress of books, there is a young woman with her head down on the desk. She's almost completely surrounded in books, which is why you didn't see her from the get-go. But she's wearing this blue and white oriental style robe. The underlayer is blue, while she has a overtop part that is a nice gray, but she is passed out on the book.
Cornelius will
Not book. She has a bunch of papers in front of her. There's a book open next to her, though.
Cornelius will lean over and look at the book to kind of get a feel for what it is, if I can even understand what it says.
Cornelius, you have no idea what it says.
He'll shrug and just kind of softly clear his throat.
She doesn't move. She passed the fuck out.
Cornelius will try again, this time louder, really going for it.
Nothing. Baron, you've walked up behind her too by this point.
Cornelius
I mean-
will just straight up say, excuse me, miss.
Nothing.
Cornelius will put a hand near their face to see if they're breathing.
Oh, there, you can see they are breathing. You can see their back moving as their chest expands, moving them slightly. You can definitely tell they're alive.
Cornelius just kind of taps the desk next to their head. Excuse me, miss. Hello.
You see that time they stir a little bit, but do not wake up.
Cornelius, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Baron will lay a hand on her shoulder.
You see she
excuse me, dear, could
immediately
you-
startles, shooting up, and one of the papers she was sleeping on is stuck to the side of her face as she sits up and looks around.
And that's
Excuse
why
me.
you don't touch a sleepy person.
We're looking to get some assistance at appraisal.
She looks at you, kind of dumbstruck for a second. The slow, sleepy blinks. She has these startlingly blue eyes. They've almost got this grayish tint to them, but it almost seems like the iris where her the color in her eyes seems to be moving as she's starting to wake up. Huh?
We're looking for an appraisal.
Oh,
Stay on, Baron.
Oh, okay. You see she starts looking around, trying to find something, then realizes there's a piece of paper on her face, takes it off, looks at it, puts it down. What? She shakes herself and then slaps her cheeks twice. Okay. Appraisal? What are we appraising?
A friend of mine, I'm not sure where they are right now in the museum. She has some scimitars she kind of wants to get rid of. You know what the. She's just not a huge fan of them.
You see her tilt her head. Scimitars?
Yes,
Uh,
curved blades and antiques, basically.
Oh, blades, yes. Not my area of expertise, but I'm sure I can help. Found them out on the outskirts, did you?
Yes.
What were we saying, Varian?
No, I'm going to call that cut off as appropriate.
Ah, alrighty. Let's see. Blades, weaponry. Left that pile over here. As she gets up, brushes herself off, and starts looking at some of the other forts that are piled up around the area of desks. Oh, here we are. Now, where's your friend in the museum?
Yes, we left them in the main foyer.
Ah, let's go
We
get them,
kind of
shall we?
split up and look for clues.
He immediately heads off towards the main hallway. You also notice at this point she's moving with an excited bounce to her step. You also she's not wearing shoes.
Cornelius will kind of lean close to Vera and say under his breath, I guess her nap really gave her some energy.
I mean, falling asleep and whoever knows how many books does that occasionally.
Are you coming?
You
You hear her
Yes,
call from the
yes.
front.
be
Yes,
right
yes.
there.
And Cornelius will jog to catch back up.
Let's see. Somebody's moving around. They shouldn't be too hard to find. She takes a scrap of paper out of a pouch at her side, folds it up into a little swan, and then throws it out into the air, and it starts to flap away.
What was that?
We just follow that.
Oh no, it'll find them, and it'll bring us over. Easiest way to find people within the spire.
I mean, there's multiple people in here. Would a description help?
Yes, it would.
Big. She's very big.
I see.
Taller than me, quite muscular, possibly with a scowl on her face.
Is she unhappy? I have cookies somewhere. I think I have cookies.
Well, snacks are always appreciated.
You see, she taps her chin, going, I don't remember where I put them.
Well, maybe you could send a bird out to find them.
It only works with people.
Ah, disappointing, but understandable.
See if I can find. But Bella, it's about this point a origami bird has flown up and landed on your shoulder and is currently looking at your face.
I don't know how Bella would react to that.
Strange
just
magical
stare at
item.
the- Yeah. Bella doesn't know anything about magic herself, but I think she's probably been around magic to where she'd probably just stare and be like, right, hello. Just look at the bird. Just talk to the little origami swan. See if it does anything.
It takes off from your shoulder and starts flying back the way it came.
Right. She's gonna go walk towards the first room to and be like, Zen, Dalton, a paper bird flew on my shoulder, looked at me, and then flew away.
Like it was paper. Like it was paper that was living, or
An origami
don't-
swan.
I don't
Oh.
know. Right. I don't know if it was alive, right? Like it just landed on my shoulder and I looked at it and I said hello and then it flew away. So it didn't talk. I'm guessing it was magic because it was made of paper. I don't know anything about magic though. I don't think it was just a living bird.
Let's put it back to the main foyer. Maybe Varen and Cornelius found somebody, and they sent it. I say maybe Varen might have sent it. You never know. Let's go check.
As y'all head out into the
Right.
foyer, you'll see just as y'all are coming out, CL is walking up through the main entrance.
How's it going?
Bella saw a
It's
origami swan. Swan.
How do you know it was just I mean, is this something that people often use to send messages with? I've never seen someone just put a paper bird out to send a message with anybody.
It was a magical paper bird.
Right, it flew on my shoulder out of nowhere. I looked at it. I said hello because I thought maybe I don't know, it just landed on me. I thought maybe someone could hear through it or something. I don't know about magic, right? However, it just flew off after I said hello. And so I came to get them, the loud one, and our doctor went deeper in. They took off and went deeper in. I went in the second room, don't like it in there and don't want to go back in there. And then I came back over here after the bird landed on me.
Did you sell the scimitars?
Right. Not yet, because as you can tell, it's no one's here. So we were trying to find people. I think you'd probably still see the scimitars on her back too. We were trying to find someone and ask about them. I did tell the others about the story you told me though, about the fairy tale, about a city that had like some people come in and like wipe all their memories away and put new memories in, and then the brain started acting all weird when they did that. Um, Varen said there's a book on it, so maybe they wanted to look for a book.
Oh, this place is weird. There's no attendant at all.
Nope. There's not even a desk for one.
Why don't you just reach out to Cornelius and ask him where he's at? Tell him you're with us.
Cornelius, I'm back. Where are you?
You'll hear in your head. Would Cornelius and Varen and the girl who we haven't gotten the name of yet be coming around the corner yet?
Y'all are going down a spiral staircase, and she's taking them quick. And I mean that by the fact she didn't take the stairs, she sat on the railing and is currently slid her ass down the spiral staircase.
If Cornelius wasn't in armor, he might try to do the same, just to be able to keep up. But that would not end well. Cornelius will say in CL's head, possibly even panting from trying to keep up with this girl. We're bringing someone to you into the main foyer. Let the rest know. This
Right.
girl doesn't have a slow setting.
It seems they found an attendant and they are on their way here.
Alrighty, so we'll just stay here and wait for them to get back.
It is about a minute later when you'll hear the soft padding of somebody barefoot jogging around the corner, and a woman in that oriental dress comes jogging up to you. Hello. You're interested in selling something? An artifact? Oh, you have quite a lot of those. You didn't say. You see her turn around and then look the other way as she realizes neither Varen nor Cornelius kept up with her.
I'm sure everyone else would just be hearing like the heavy footfalls of Cornelius pounding his way through the hallway, trying to catch up. Vera might be faster. I don't know. What's Varen's speed?
I very much doubt Varen is faster. She's base 30.
I'm base 30 as well.
But she also doesn't do a lot of running, so.
But after another minute or two, those two come huffing and puffing in behind her.
Well, maybe Vera would be huffing puffing, but remember Cornelius is of the athletic sort, so he would probably just be kind of like breathing slightly heavier.
I'm gonna argue slightly on that because you're running in heavy armor for a long distance. I think even athletic you would be kind of winded.
Yeah,
That's my
and
not
you're
you, but Cornelius.
going
That's my argument. Running in heavy armor. Whew.
up and downstairs, everything with the medical ward, getting to the. You've been moving around a lot.
Fair. So yeah, you know what? Cornelius finally comes to a stop in front of everyone and takes a deep, whooping breath. Oh, there are too many stairs in this place.
Oh, well, somebody needs to work on their cardio.
You try running down multiple flights of stairs in heavy armor.
We only went down one floor.
Right.
It wasn't that bad.
Says the
Right, or you could just get better and not have to wear such heavy armor, you know?
not all of us likes to just take blows straight to the body. You slid down the railing. You didn't have to actually walk down the stairs.
It's nowhere near. It's going up to the 30th floor.
By the gods above. But anyway,
Do these stairs go down? Right, are there lower floors? You said it goes up 30. Are there lower floors?
And she turns to look at Cornelius. Why are you cursing someone?
cursing.
Yes.
Did Cornelius curse? I just said by the gods.
Uh-huh.
I don't recall cursing anyone. I just said by the gods.
Yes. What of them? Didn't think I did anything that rude.
But no, it's just an expression.
Right, remember we just went to medical because a couple of folks fell, hit their heads. He might just have forgotten, the whole 1,000 years ago upsetting them so much that they broke everything off from the rest of the world. He might have just forgot that. Maybe, oh no, he got a clean bill of health, but they said it might be a bit before they knew when he'd be as close to normal as possible for him. The doctor would know more.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot myself.
1,000 years
Forgive me.
ago.
Right, I'm just going off the history books that we've been taught, speaking with the Dwarven lady. It was a while ago, right?
Our best estimates put it at 152,000 years.
Right, 1,000 years ago. Just a few more thousand in front. I don't,
suppose.
yeah, sorry. I mean, semantics, my apologies. I'm not the most well-read person. I just go off the stories I'm told.
I see. Well, you said you had something to sell. An artifact?
Uh, these two, and just we'll take the scimitar's offer back and just say these here.
They're in pretty good condition. Where did you find them? Everything we usually pick up's been very much degraded.
Right. Family heirloom, kind of.
Cordelia starts having a big coughing fit as because that is not the story I told the lady.
Sadly, Bella wasn't with you. Sorry.
Not much we can do
Bella's
there.
Bella's just gonna give a look at him and be like, you're right. You run so much that you break a lung. Or does the doctor need to check you out? And maybe Xanth could give you a slap upside the head?
No. Excuse me. There's still some. There must still be some dust in the old lungs after we unearthed those weapons. I look at Bella like, right.
Right. We don't typically tell strangers that we unearth things. We normally go with the old story of it was a family heirloom, but I see that my very loud, very out of shape, and possibly stupid friend after hitting his head here told you something a bit different. So yeah, we found him. Bit of a good secret spot we found and just wanted to sell them ourselves without sharing the information with anyone.
I quite understand. Most people like to keep the digs secret, because most people get upset about it once you start digging. Worth it most of the times, but I think it's quite worth it.
Right.
May I see them?
Of course, she'll just hand them over.
You see, she takes them reverently, treating them very differently than you do as she moves over to a table off to the side. More a just side piece than it's supposed to hold anything as she sets them down and starts going over them. Good conditions. I don't recognize the style either. What era this is from? Maybe from one of the pre-loss? Be interesting. How would they be in such good condition? What are y'all doing while she's looking over there? She seems to forget y'all are in the room. She's just
I
going
think
on
after
muttering.
staring, giving a nasty look to Cornelius for a moment, um, Bella's just gonna lean against the wall, make sure there's nothing on it, like no tapestries or anything that looks like artwork or anything, and just lean back and let the gal do her thing.
What room are we in again?
The
Like,
main
what's
hall.
the? Yeah, it's just there's nothing specific in here.
The tapestry of the spires and the what you think might be the different rulers.
Yeah, Varen's just going to lean up against something as well and wait.
Is Varen one of the ones that speak primordial? Yeah.
Yes.
Xanth's gonna whisper to you in primordial. If the gods have abandoned them, what are they gonna think about a couple of clerics?
That is a good point. It might be best not to use any magics right now,
Hey,
or play them off as some other power.
I guess I could fall back on the sorcerer.
That, yeah, I can play off mine, or at least half of mine as blood magic.
Huh, sneaking suspicion that that's probably gonna be worse.
I meant my relationship blood, not actual blood. Inherited.
A thought occurred.
You look human, right?
Except
I
for
can't
the slightly glowing orange eyes, yes.
Fair. Xanthus is gonna go. Veteran, what are you?
Partially made of fire. Does that help?
Did you say partially made of fire?
Yes.
Still in primordial. Veteran said, what are your patterns fucking elemental?
No. I wish it was that simple.
Xanthus just looks at you and like I need to hear this story.
Different time around the fire, perhaps, and not in a museum or city.
Hey. I'm gonna hold you to that one.
Speaking of out of character,
Uh-huh.
this woman is is quite possibly very, very well educated, right?
I mean, she's in a museum.
So
I
what
would
are the
hope so.
chances that they speak quite a few languages?
Reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
She is also engrossed in some very, very pretty swords, and we are talking in low tones.
I mean, to her, they
Yeah.
might be pretty. To y'all, they're pretty basic.
That's yes.
But just to test this, Cornelius is gonna go up to Father Dalton. Oh wait, did anyone actually mention that Father Dalton speaks Elvish? Oh wait, I think Xanth did.
Yes,
They
Yeah.
were
he,
just
he
Yeah,
already
because-
spoke
languages.
Elvish.
Yeah, because Father Dalton specifically told us what languages he spoke, and so Xanth specifically stated that you also spoke Elvish.
So I'll
I
approach
think
Father Dalton.
Didn't
Oh, good.
just gonna start. Didn't Father Dalton, wasn't he the one who translated everything that was going on to Cornelius in Elvish?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I'm remembering
Yes.
now. Yeah. So Cornelius will head out over to Father Dalton and say in Elvish, I think that girl has a stain on her dress, right around the lower back. I'm gonna look to see if she reacts by like reaching forward or anything.
She doesn't pay any attention. I will also point out her lower back is covered in leather, but
Yeah, well, that was just a test. So either she doesn't understand or she just didn't care.
it's at this point she turns around. There's a couple things I need to look up. Do y'all want to stay here or come with me?
I'm interested. Lead the way.
She immediately
Those
I
follow.
picks up.
I follow for sure.
She picks up the blades reverently, holding them securely to her chest before jogging back the way she came.
Same speed.
Yep, she's still going pretty quick.
Cornelius-
Hell's not again.
Yep. Cornelius starts jogging after.
CL keeps up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also keep up. It's no different than running a rigging.
I don't think Bella would have any issues keeping up with her either.
The boys that
There's a
are
reason.
slower are having trouble keeping up, more because she knows how to move through everything and she's moving relatively quickly without knocking things over. Those that are quicker are having an easier time just because you're naturally faster. But she brings y'all back up to the library, taking the stairs at a relatively quick pace before setting the blades down and going through the books in which she gestured to beforehand when Varen and Cornelius were still.
Varen, would you be able to find that book you were talking about here?
Quite possibly. You want to help me look?
Right. All right. Sure.
It will disappear into the stacks, I presume.
I'll just follow Baron because with Bella's role, she still thinks they're looking for a book.
A bit of distance. I wasn't actually talking about a book, Bella. I was trying to be a bit coy.
Oh, right. Oh, that makes
Sorry.
sense. Like, oh, that just gonna no, that's all right. That makes sense. Like with Sal didn't actually say that it was a fairy tale either. That was kind of his theory on what's happening here. That maybe when they went through that orb thing or made that orb that came here and changed brains or something.
Possibly.
I have a question for you since we're over here, just because you seem smart. Um, right. Not that I'm not smart, I'm just not like riddle smart and stuff. That lord that we saw, right? He said that up is down and stuff like that, and talked about like a library, not lungs, and you go upstairs. But up is down, you go down the stairs, but then you go up the stairs. Do you think that that means that we should try and go up these stairs to see what's up a ways? She said there's 30 floors. Should we try and just kind of go and see if like the world flips upside down for us?
I would say let's, but you're the one selling the sword, so it might be some of the rest of the party that does it, and I'm the one that woke her, so she's going to notice if I just fuck off.
Right. What do you think about and I don't think that CL can talk in your brain. He can't talk in mine. He can only talk in a couple of folks. Do you think if she's looking at stuff real close, we could just like slip off, right? And try and go look around? Because she asked if we wanted to come with, so it didn't seem like she cared if we were there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we could leave someone with her in case she has questions, and maybe we could just kind of go take a look around, and maybe we could just all kind of go. Because what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just kind of try and go up the stairs, and I might maybe I don't speak all the languages you all speak, but I might just kind of mention on my way that I'm going to see what I can see and just kind of take a look around.
Yeah,
Like say I got lost.
that. I'd definitely say take someone with you, maybe Xanth, Ciel.
I would think whoever goes is probably maybe someone who's I guess uh good at climbing a lot of stairs because there's going to be a lot. And maybe I know CL's super sneaky, so probably a good one to take. And then maybe someone who can know some of the magic stuff. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if CL does, but maybe someone who's good with magic stuff might be a good idea. Um, Whoever you think I should grab magic wise, I might just kind of try and grab their hand and CL's hand and just start walking and hope they'll follow.
Well, it's at this point something touches your shin.
Who's Shen? Sorry.
Bella.
Oh, Bella would probably just look down really quick, assuming it's a swan again.
There is a cat that is winding itself around your leg.
Right. All right. Is that just a normal cat? Puts down, talking to Varen.
I'm a doctor, not a veterinarian.
I don't think you're a veterinarian, but I think you know magic stuff, and I know that things can do stuff with magic that makes them look different. That's why I was asking. I had a swan land on my shoulder that was a paper swan earlier. I don't know these things.
As above table, as far as I know, a familiar looks like a normal animal no matter what you do, unless you kill it.
Most of them, yes.
Yeah, aside from the ones that are imps and pseudo dragons.
There's a couple that look more like they're fiendish or fey ancestry, but or not ancestry, the spirit inhabiting them, but a good few of them just look like normal.
Yeah, but you can't tell if they're familiar or a natural animal unless you hurt them.
Or use magic
I
Like detect
Like-
magic.
Oh, okay, that's fucking simple then. I wasn't sure if detect magic saw that or not.
Yeah, they are still a magical construct, so they'll show up like
Oh.
some.
Gotcha. Yeah, detect magic at will.
Nice. No, they're not. It's just a cat.
Yeah, it's just a cat, Bella.
Right. Bella's gonna bend down and like kind of awkwardly but very gently pick up the cat and just look at Bear, not hold the cat up against her and look at Bear and be like, right, I like animals a lot, right? But I like dogs the most, and I don't want the dog to get upset that I was holding a cat. So I'm gonna hand you this cat, and she's just gonna hand the cat to Varen and say, I think that you just pet the cat, it just wants some attention. Now, who do you think magic-wise I should grab? I figure if you're not coming, that really leaves me with Xanth or the father. And I feel like it's a tough call because if we leave both the loud one and the father down here, you're gonna have to deal with them.
Can't you take Xanth and Dalton? I don't
Right,
really
let's do that. I'll
animals
leave
that
you.
much.
Go hand that one to the loud one because he has his horse and he likes to talk, and maybe the cat will distract him and the lady looking at the swords. You are a doll. Thanks so much for helping me out in the medical tent. I don't like being locked in rooms. And she's just gonna walk off. And as she walks off, she feels like Ciel would easily get this. She's just gonna like tap Ciel on the shoulder and give a head nod and look at Xanth and give a head nod and then just kind of grab onto like Dalton's hand and start walking away and not even say anything. Just go.
As you're starting to leave, those that are still standing next to the woman look over the blade. She looks up and goes to say something to Bella as Bella walks off, dragging Dalton. As she looks a little confused. Oh,
Yeah, she kind of wanted me to take over a bit. Conrad, can you take this cat? Hair's on this sanitary thing.
Aw. Now who's this little guy? And Cornelius will take the cat in his arms and give it little scritches behind the ear.
that's Papri.
Uh,
Yep, somebody beat me to it. Alrighty, that's Papri.
Aw, hello, Patrick. And Cornelius kind of like just scratches underneath his chin. Give it all the loving scratches.
The woman is going to turn back to Varen. Well, it looks like these blades don't match anything I've ever seen before. Usually, that would mean two different paths. Either they're from an unknown civilization that we haven't found yet, or more likely due to their, well, their current state. They're likely fakes.
Fakes or possibly illegally made?
I wouldn't say illegally, but more likely to be fake.
I'm just wondering if we maybe grab someone's tossed away weapons.
Not like they'd need them for anything.
No. But I do deal with mental health cases, and some people need more watch than others.
For what?
For being a bit dangerous or to themselves and sometimes to the people around them.
I suppose. They wouldn't use something like this, though. Daggers are so much easier to get a hold of.
Yeah. Sharp implements are very easy to get a hold of.
But knowing that it might be a fake, or it has a chance of being something else, I'd be willing to give you 30 Ethereum each for 'em.
That does seem reasonable. I'm not the one usually selling stuff, so if I'm supposed to haggle, let me know.
I don't think I can haggle it. We're kind
Let's
of
say yourself in
limited
the
onto
chest.
what we could, how much we could use, and since there's a chance it might be something good, I'd prefer to give a good price for it.
I think that's reasonable.
You want to tell your friend?
Sure, she'll pop up sooner or later. Probably just got
She's over
curious
there,
about something.
near the stairs.
Did they not go up yet?
They literally just walked away. When she turned to talk to you.
I thought they would have managed it by now.
It's only been like 30, 40 seconds.
I
It's
didn't
been
think
a
we were
short
that far away from the
conversation.
stairs.
Yeah, y'all are in the middle of a big library.
I didn't know how far we went in. I
Yeah.
assumed she was somewhat near the entrance with her desk.
No.
Okay, my mistake.
What will you do?
I'm not clever enough for social conversations. Shit.
And I'm being distracted by an adorable little kitten.
Yep.
You are.
I
Son
think
of a
Xan's
bitch.
still there.
Yeah, I don't think CL actually passed the message on to Xanth.
I think CL's still there too. I think Dalton's the only one that
If
was
I, if
skipping.
I, if I witnessed, I
Message.
thought it was by the stairs. But if I witnessed this
Oh
conversation,
no, I didn't know
I'm
where y'all
definitely
were.
going to chime in.
You went to
Okay,
the
I
stairs.
didn't
you went to the
exactly-
stairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say Xanth didn't exactly get the chance to leave yet.
Yeah, I mean, the only Bella just walked by and gave them she gave them a head nod to ask them to follow as she was walking away. She didn't like run with Dalton, but I don't think we ever had the chance to see if anyone did anything.
All right. If I'm in earshot of that conversation, then I'll say, Bella, come over here.
Bella is just gonna take a slow breath in and be like, right, and walk back to the lady and say, right, I see you've looked at them. Am I okay to go up the stairs a bit? I just want to look around.
Sure. The next floors, next 3 floors, still libraries. After that, you'll hit the locked doors to the offices. You won't be able to get much higher than that.
Right. Oh, that's fine. But we could look through, at least through the libraries. Right. What was that, CL? What did we need me for?
I was going to ask if we can only access 3 floors. What are the other 27 floors being used?
The offices.
Offices the whole way?
Most of the way. After that, you find a lot of storage. A lot of
And I
things
assume
people want to keep hidden. Kingdom puts them
I-
here sometimes.
all the offices are vacant because there's nobody coming in and out of here.
No, they come from different parts of the spire.
Okay. And none of that area is open to us?
No.
Okay. I heard you mention that you would be willing to sell or buy these scimitars. How much was that?
30 gold, 30 etheri each.
60 etheri total?
Yeah.
Bella, are you okay with that?
Bella's just gonna say, right, yeah, no, I think that sounds quite lovely of you.
Okay, we'll make that deal.
You see, she starts going through a pouch and pulls out a number of different coins and starts going through them before she does get the right set of coins counted out before passing them on to Bella. Here you go.
Right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And you get a lot of weapons in here then, right? I saw the room with the stuff in it. It all looked pretty not great.
Not anymore, not really.
As she takes the blades, hefts them up a little bit, and they just disappear.
That was pretty neat. All right. Well, yeah, I just thought if it's all right, I would just maybe kind of look around a bit more. I like libraries.
By all means. It's not as impressive as the old ones from lore, but it does the best it can. If you have any questions, I'll be here.
She gives you a big smile as if
I
she wants you to ask questions but doesn't want to say it.
Actually, I,
right. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry, maybe you said it and I'm rude. As you heard, my name's Bella. What was yours?
Oh, I forgot. I'm used to people being here. My name's Akia.
Akia. That's a nice name. Uh, you work here alone?
Usually, yes. Only ever me and
It's a big
Dorian for the most
museum.
part.
No one comes to your museum anymore?
Not as long as I've been here. No one's interested in the past for the most part.
That seems strange. Do you typically want to know your history so you don't make those same mistakes, right?
I think so. Most people don't really care, though.
Okay. Do you Someone had mentioned, one of us had mentioned that sometimes, like exhibits that go in museums, are donated by lords and stuff, right? Do you have anything? Do you do exhibits like that, or is this just all things that you've collected and bought over time?
Mostly the nobles will huck stuff off that they found when producing land and whatnot. They know they can at least make better gold here than just trashing it. So, we'll get things from them whenever an excavation's going on.
Um,
That
quick
makes
question: did we
sense.
ever get the name of that lord that was carried away?
Vale.
Lord Vale.
Yep.
Well, yes, we'll pipe up. Still play with the cat. Well, the cat kind of distractingly mention. Ever get anything from Lord Vale?
Vale? Particularly, he tends to avoid the place ever since Dorian had that falling out with him. He doesn't come here all that often.
Mm, not all that often, but he does. Does he still come here at all?
No.
Uh,
Dorian's here, so he tends to.
ah,
Is Dorian in the libraries, like up the stairs? Will we run into him at all?
He was supposed to be here. He hasn't come in yet today.
She looks a little crestfallen.
All right.
well, that's too bad. This Dorian sounds like an interesting. I'm going to say fellow.
Yeah.
Why did they have a falling out?
Oh, he doesn't like that he works here. Seems to think it's useless. And, well, it is, but it's interesting.
Knowing one's history is never worthless.
Glad you think that. Not really many people care here.
So what was their relationship before?
I mean,
Dor-
their relationship's the
Dor-
same as it all. Lord Vale's his father.
Oh, we did not know that. So Lord Vale is Dorian's father,
Yes.
and Dorian hasn't come in today.
No.
Maybe
Supposed to
has.
be in.
No, probably because Lord Vale was in the hospital today
Oh,
being
is he
checked.
okay?
He was released. I wouldn't say he's okay.
It was suspected he got infected with something.
At his age, that's not very concerning. I don't like him very much, but I don't wish ill upon him.
There's a good chance Dorian is just home taking care of his father. You know, filial. I can't pronounce those word. That word.
Familial.
I doubt
Yes.
it. More likely his servants are taking. But if there's an
Um,
infection, they might be quarantining him.
Did he go up the spire a lot? Like, did the lords go up the stairs a lot? Right?
They're usually the
There's
ones that
just the
work in
one
the
spire,
office.
right?
No, there's
Yeah,
7.
right. 7 spires. Yeah, that makes so much sense. There's 30 floors, 7 spires with 30 floors
72
each.
each.
72 each. There, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. There's no way anyone is ever going to convince me that that many offices are needed in a place. That is insanity, right?
As I said, only
72
some of them
floors.
are offices. A lot of it's storage. After that, I don't really know what's on the higher floors. I'm not allowed up there.
Remind me
Okay.
what this girl's name is.
Akio.
Akio. You seem like a very well-read miss. Very knowledgeable of various things.
Yes, I'm self-studied, but
Do these words mean anything to you at all? And Cornelius will then proceed to repeat everything that Lord Vale said.
no, not particularly.
Nothing at all. It doesn't sound like maybe words from a poem or some sort of prophecy or some such nonsense. Nothing.
The sun under the city sounds familiar. I think we ran across it in a... I don't know which, though.
Hmm. It wouldn't happen to be amongst the piles here you were sleeping next to.
No, different. I think that one had something to do with... Oh, that was that scrap we found from the Royal Library. That's right. Dory and I were looking over it.
You would not happen to still have this scrap, would you?
Dorian had it.
Ah,
He was going to do
Dorian
some
would-
home research when his father... at home, but...
and I'm assuming, despite their falling out, they still live in the same home. Yes.
They do. The old coot likes to keep an eye on Dorian even if he doesn't like him.
Ah, I see. I see. It might be prudent to go give this Lord Vale a little bit of a visit. You know, just to check in on him. You know, make sure everything's all right. And I'm sure Dorian will appreciate knowing that you're worried after him as well.
Suppose Lord Vale's not the nicest of people, though.
Hmm. You wouldn't happen to know a good way to get into his good graces, would you? Maybe maybe a gift that he would appreciate or some such. I know with
Sure.
nobles.
He tends to hate me as much as anyone else because I'm corrupting Dorian.
Corrupting, you mean educating?
Really educating him, but I'm... How did he put it? I'm letting him get too interested in history.
And that's
Oh,
frowned upon here.
It is by him.
It-
Is
So
it
he thinks
frowned
that
upon
his
by
son
most of the
is.
nobles?
Hang on, I
Sorry.
heard 2 people. Ciel, then Akak.
Okay. Is it frowned upon by the general population to look into history?
No, most people don't care all that much. But some people think it's, well, tempting fate.
Go ahead.
Akak?
Right. So he thinks his son is just that weak-willed that you just like you let him do things. Are you his son's controller?
More that I'm a temptress.
Right, that makes sense. You don't wear shoes. I could see that being pretty much a temptress move. A lot of people would use. I just have one thought.
Shoes?
Lord Vale,
Oh, I've lost my sandals. Uh-oh.
that's all right. You don't need to wear them. I prefer being barefoot. It's good for you. Keeps you close to the earth. Um, just Lord Vale, if someone say were to have done him a favor, would he be keen to speak with them after that?
Suppose.
Right. All right. Thank you again.
I never know what that old kook's thinking about. So hard to tell. I only ever really got well with Dorian, but Dorian act like his father.
Well, if I know nobles, and and if I know his kind, the kind that don't want to learn from history, then what you really all need to do is follow, pander up to them a little bit. They have ego. They have egos the size of a small country. And Cornelius just
Bella, you just hear Xanth mutter under her breath in Draconic. Yeah, it takes one to know one.
Yeah, Bella's gonna just respond back, right? Pot and kettle.
Cornelius might not be able to understand you, but he knows when people are talking about. He just says something in Goblin that can't be repeated in polite company.
Bella doesn't even speak Goblin, so she doesn't care. But Bella will probably just turn to Xanth and be like, right, question. Anyone can weigh in on this. Do we want to keep going up and looking at more of the libraries, see what's up that way? Or do we maybe want to go see if we can find a missing friend, the one she's the temptress to, and make sure he's all right?
And we're
It's
echoing off of you, I think.
it sounds as if going to see this Lord Van would be the proper course of action.
Lord Vale.
Vale, sorry, I don't know why I said Van. Vale.
Right, I was just thinking that, if he fell ill, maybe it'd be good to just check in on his son if they're not getting on too well either, just make sure his kid's all right. Especially if he's your friend. You seem pretty worried about him. I don't know if you can just up and leave work during the day. So, I mean, we're happy to pop over. You did us a nice favor buying these off of us, especially if they weren't worth much. I appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you for bringing it in. Better than it just getting scrapped.
I agree. There's a nice dwarven smithy who told us to bring it up to you, said that you'll like these things and we should pop it in up here. Bring it on over.
I thank you.
Well, sounds like we have a plan in mind. Anything you would like us to tell young Master Dorian when we go see him, if we manage to get in to see him at all?
You see she kind of looks off to the side.
I made lunch.
Mm. Mm.
What does Dorian
That's
look
very
like?
nice of you.
You see she starts giving the description, kind of brown hair, younger fellow. But Bella, more concerningly, that's the man you ran off with.
Was the one that she's describing?
Yes. And as she is, that is where we're going to end it. Good job, you guys. That was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes and how y'all deal with the things to come. For those that were listening in, we thank you for joining us as well, and we hope you come back to see what nuttiness this party's going to get into. Y'all have a wonderful night. Peace.